Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn, Lou, Seth, Geis, and from the Villager Cigar Studios, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
I just don't know when to bring the energy.
I wanted to see who was going to go first.
I
Usually
was
I
so much.
I thought I had COVID, but I didn't, the other
Yeah,
day.
You beat it, man.
beat it, knocked it down. You're like
Yeah.
COVID isn't doing enough squats. It's not eating enough oats. It's got nothing on me. Nothing.
I actually don't give a shit if I get COVID, honestly, at this point, because the symptoms are so mild. But
Oh, I figured it's
Yeah.
because you walk around with a brain fog all the time. So what's the difference? Corporate
I did
life
get
is
a
already grinding
PCR
down.
test. I got a PCR test on Saturday. Came back negative yesterday, which is great.
So you failed the test?
I failed the test.
Your
The only
parents must be
failure that is
so
acceptable
disappointed.
in life.
That's right. All right. So today we are talking about the Tatuaje Cohete Reserva. Cigar is a short Robusto 4x50. Comes out of the My Father factory in Nicaragua. Wrappers Connecticut broadleaf, binder and filler both from Nicaragua, blended by Pete Johnson. Price point is $9, and the cigar was released in January of 2022. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
This is the Cohete Reserva.
Yep.
Good to know, because I was about to read my notes for the Ecuador Habano. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound quite right. Okay. I thought this was quality broadleaf. It's got proper like medium full viscosity, body, and depth to the cigar, which I always think it's one of the key factors that I personally look for in a quality broadleaf. In terms of flavors, it's got that like denser, chewy, kind of rustic kind of a flavor profile. It's not overtly earthy, which is nice because it has like really nice chocolate tones to balance all the earthiness out. I thought it's good now, but the only thing is that I think it will get better because that last third kind of got a little like rougher around the edges. So I think with even more time, be more mimicking of the first kind of 2/3 of that like chewy, dense, chocolatey, earthy goodness that I liked.
And Seth, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I thought the probably first 2/3 really delivered this espresso, oak, rich earth, black pepper. It was medium. It had a nice balance to it, had a nice strength to it. It was like medium full. First 2/3 are really good. Final third was fairly close. I see what June's saying. I think June's being a little picky. Right. But
It's okay.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, a little pinky out there and so forth, whatever. I'm not going to give people credit when they deserve credit just because of who they are. But we're not going to go down that road right now. We ain't going to start that shit. But yeah, the final third could get a little bit better. But I do think I think it's really good now. I think it's going to be great in probably about a year. John?
There's a lot of titles that are thrown around in the industry when it comes to broadleaf. I think a bunch of them are taken. I don't know if I'm the person to start handing out titles, Prince of the Broadleaf, maybe Duke of the Broadleaf, but I do find myself when it's Pete and it's broadleaf, I find it quite good. I find it quite a good representation of what broadleaf should be. As June was saying, you get kind of all the goodness of broadleaf without all the kind of badness of broadleaf that you can get with overpowering earth or overpowering leather. I'm with everyone else. The first 2/3 were good. And I think Seth and I had a similar experience where kind of a espresso, sweet, tobacco-y, peppery, but balanced pepper profile with some dessert sort of notes in the second third with baking spices and chocolate. There were certainly leather tones and earth there, but they're supporting notes. They're not driving the profile, which is sometimes what can be sort of disappointing in broadleaf. The format's interesting. Obviously, the challenge is you have to deliver a lot of flavor in a very short period of time. It's only 4 inches. So, depending on whether you think you can smoke a 4-inch cigar in 20 minutes or whether you're not a savage and you smoke it in a reasonable amount of time, you're extracting probably a lot of goodness out of this. What was the price point, Aaron?
$9.
$9? Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's still below $10. So, I rated the first and second thirds good. I thought the flavor combinations were excellent. The last third was still pleasant, just didn't quite reach the same echelon. Burn was very good. I had a touch up that was required because it was a canoe. I let it go as far as I could. But when a canoe forms, you got to paddle or you got to touch up. I don't know what that means. The draw was slightly resistant, which you could argue you probably want on a shorter cigar, but we don't do any kind of preferential treatment based on the Tola. So suck it. That's just how it goes. It was slightly tight. Just slightly tight. Overall, it was good. And honestly, I wish I had a second one. I would have lit it up right away immediately afterwards because I had a good experience. Aaron, walk us through yours.
Wait, John, when your
Oh,
cigar was when your cigar was canoeing,
Yeah.
if you don't touch it up, like you don't use a lighter to touch it up, you're still monitoring the canoeing though, correct?
Oh, I'm paying attention. I'm getting
Okay.
worried about the canoe.
You're getting worried about it, but like you're still taking puffs and you're seeing how that wrapper's burning. You're seeing, is this
Yes.
canoe getting worse? Is it improving?
Yes.
Now, do you ever like blow on it a little bit?
I feel like that constitutes interference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether I'm
Rotating
waving
is
it or
rotating
rubbing my
is as
hands.
much intervention as you can
That's
get
right.
before you start docking points.
Okay, so rotating is nothing because I consider like that little blow, like that's paddling. That's a technical term on me. That's what I consider
Okay.
paddling.
But you're
That's
talking
when
about you're talking
that's-
about blowing.
No,
Yeah,
blowing
like,
on.
No, he means
like-
blowing the
Oh, the
know,
lid
cherry.
end.
Yes.
when your cigar,
okay.
and for all the newbies out there, pay attention right now. This is, you don't get this
Dropping some
often.
knowledge.
Yeah.
When the cigar is canoeing and there's like that little ember and you blow on a little bit just to help that's called paddling. Because the cigar, that's
You
what
heard
I'm
it
gonna
here
call it.
first.
That's what I'm
All right.
saying.
Sounds good. All right. So for me, the cigar started with toasted cedar, baking spice, dark earth, and light cocoa powder. Cocoa transitioned to chalkiness fairly quickly, and the baking spice transitioned to black pepper a little bit later. Second, third saw that chalkiness go back to cocoa for a little bit, then it went back to chalkiness. And then the final third saw a little bit of light bitterness join in. I thought the cigar started well, but when the dry earth kind of took a slight lead in the second third, the enjoyment level kind of dropped down a notch, kind of stayed at that average level the rest of the way. We reviewed the Habano version previous to this. I felt like the flavor profile was the same level of enjoyment between the two. I don't really see much of a difference. The cigar did go out on me without warning in the second third, so that kind of knocked the burn down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't blow me away to want to come back to it. It's at $9. I know John's saying $9 is cheap, but it's 4-inch cigars, so $9 is it's a little steep. But if I had the same experience you guys had flavor wise, yes, I'd be all over it. But kind of where I'm at, I'm like, it's iffy for me. But yeah,
Burn slow.
I might, burn slow. I might come back to it from time to time, but I'm not gonna be like, buying boxes of these or anything like that. So
Was this limited though?
I don't think so. I think this is all gonna be regular stuff from now on.
Till all the broadleaf's gone.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the scores. I'm going to start at the top with Seth at 7.07. Jiunn was next, 6.72. John gave it a 6.57. I gave it a 5.9. So Seth, how'd that 7.07 matchup for you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love the flavor profile. I like broadleafs like this, and I love this size because to me, it's kind of a great size for either like this morning broadleaf experience or like this evening broadleaf experience. I thought it had good flavor from beginning to end. So it was nice. There was complexity to it. Nice strength and body. Yeah, really good.
All right, Jiunn, 6.72. I'm going to put up the picture of this since I've blown that one already. So
Arliss.
Huh?
Arliss is the one that you came
We're gonna
up.
put up the photo,
He's gonna
and
put the photo.
you gave it a 6.72. So now you have to be nice to it.
Oh, okay.
Hold on,
So meaty.
Oh.
Do I smoke it? Do I chew on it? I don't know what to do.
The one thing
There
I'll
you
say is I don't get, it kind of
Let's
sucks that he
stick
put
it
the
on my-
broadleaf. He put broadleaf on
Good.
there. Like,
It's your cigar, Jiunn.
do you know what I mean?
Well,
Aaron?
this is the same band as he used on the T110s.
I know that, but
It's
like,
good. It's
Because
good.
back
they
in the
put
day, it
broadleaf
just said
on there.
Reserva, right? To
Yeah.
denote broadleaf.
Right.
Do you like that? Do you like that he puts the broadleaf on?
No.
Oh my god!
No,
dude.
I don't. It's like saying like it's almost like saying like I don't know, like
I always liked it when it was just
it's like
Reserva.
obvious, right?
Yeah.
No, not obvious per se, but the Reserva thing was such a signature thing of a tatuaje. If you know tats, Reserva means Connecticut broadleaf, right? So I think that's a cool thing to leave.
Listen,
I
listen,
didn't think
between
we were
all
gonna
the
go
co-
this. I didn't think we were going to go this far, but I guess we can get off the track. I'm sorry.
we're
Eric.
getting
That's
right
right.
off the track
That's
because
right.
between all the different cigars, I was like, okay, I have to make sure I'm smoking the right cigar because I know I'm going to screw this up. And I spent way more time than I should have. And when I saw the broadleaf, I'm like, okay, there's no confusion. This is clearly the broadleaf. Thank you. There's no ribbon decoding. There's no spreadsheet management. There's like, I don't have to search websites to find out what the picture map. Fucking broadleaf. Perfect.
Yeah,
I
but
like it.
it's
It
almost
works.
like this might be stupid, but like you'll get a Big Mac and it'll say Big Mac hamburger
on the wrapper.
you know,
yeah.
like you don't.
But,
You don't
it's
there's no need.
that's what the thing. Like, you always just had Tatuaje, and then it was like Reserva was, oh, this is something special, or this is a broadleaf, and then anytime there was the Sumatra, it was always Capa Especial. That's why I made fun of Huber when he did a Sumatra, and he put the Capa Especial on it. I'm like, I thought Pete took that one.
Mm.
All right, James.
Okay.
So 6.72.
I actually have a lot of the same sentiments as Seth because I do really like the size, and for me, it's not really about the shorter the shorter length of it, but because I felt like after smoking through like 2-3 of these guys, they all burn really slow. It was that sweet spot for me of really enjoying the entire profile.
Yeah.
And also feel like I had enough of that smoke to put it down and be done with it or move on to the next smoke. Like that to me is perfect.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this one. It was delicious.
All right, John. 6.57.
Yeah, I'm going to repeat a bunch of what everyone said. I think there's a lot to be said about delivering a flavor performance. I got an hour and 14 minutes. I was like, you know what? Honestly, after smoking some of the monsters at 2.5 hours, it's kind of nice to smoke for an hour and 14 and be like, I could have a second cigar if I wanted to. I haven't blown my palate out. I'm satisfied. It's good. Maybe making this into a longer ring gauge or a longer Batola would have sucked. It seemed to be good. And like I said, legitimately, I finished it. And I'm like, if I had a second one of these, I would have lit it up. And it's nice to have that option. And say what we will about 4 inches for $9, given that our average cigar in 2022 is like $13.75 or whatever. $9 is, I remember when people were like $9, that's so much money. $9 seems like a steal now. So, when I go down to Houston, I'll be searching these out.
Yeah. My 5.9 match as well is above average flavor profile. Like I said, I had a little issue with the burn. It just kind of went out on me in the middle third, but it didn't have that issue. I'd be in the 6s, but still kind of on that fence of, whether I'd want to come back to it or not. But, 3 out of 4, take those guys' opinion over mine on this one. So any other final thoughts from you guys on this one?
Price point thoughts, you guys? I actually don't think it's that it's
For
right at the
broadleaf?
cusp, right? If you say $10 for this size, then I would have been like, listen, Pete Johnson,
Who do you
slow your
think you
electric
are?
guitar,
Who
buddy.
do you think you are?
Or whatever the fuck you played back in the day.
But
but
do you guys I guess for me, like, yes, it's a good price point, but at the same time, there's the whole it's smaller cigar. But like, to me, that's not at 4x50. That's not like that small. You know what I mean? Like, it's
No,
Yeah,
like,
it's
and
not that small.
you have to decide how
it's-
you're going to determine
So,
value.
no.
Are you determining value
Yeah.
by smoking time, or are you determining value by experience? If you
yeah.
get a good experience in a 4x50, it's worth $9, right? But if
Well-
you
well,
feel
if-
like I need to smoke a long time to get value, I don't care about the flavor. That's a
Yeah.
different conversation.
I was going to
So-
say, if I'm a typical American consumer these days buying cigars, I want a 7x60 because
Yes.
I somehow equate. To me, I don't really care what the price has to match the flavor performance. Like, I don't really care what the Vitola is, but
Right.
like, we've smoked $35 cigars that I've smoked for 2 hours and 45 minutes of disappointment. And it's like, I want my money back and I want my time back. Here, you can take my money and I'm happy to give my time. If you could maybe argue that if it took an hour and 50 minutes to smoke, you'd be like, well, that's too big. But like in an hour and 14, like Jiunn said, I'm good. Like you did everything you needed to do. I'm good. I'm ready to check out now. I can set it down and I can move on. And like, there's a lot to be said of that. I wish that the industry was moving towards, whether it's smaller ring gauge or shorter sizes, but that is not where we're
It's
going.
like,
No.
I just nutted. I'm ready to
Yeah,
get out
you
of
need
bed
a
and
recovery
make-
period,
eat
you
a
need to go
steak.
play some Xbox,
Or eat some
Yeah.
ice cream. I don't
eat
know.
some ice
Whatever.
cream, whatever
Yeah.
you do, you know what I mean? You do
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
No judgment. # no judgment.
Yeah.
All right. If you're just catching this video on our newly age-restricted YouTube page, be sure to like
Wah,
and subscribe.
wah.
Check out the full written review on the website. I'm not going to say it so that we don't get banned from YouTube. Follow us on all the social media channels, and
You
can
know where to
catch
go.
all of our
You're not
review recaps
dating.
on podcasts.
Whatever.
So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cohete Reserva.